Hi and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Zangi, and in this video tutorial I am going to show you how to perform quantity takeoff in Archicad 23. Now you are required to have Archicad 23 installed in your computer, and we are going to be exporting data from Archicad to Excel spreadsheet. So you will need to have a Microsoft Excel also installed in your computer. Now before we get started with this video, I will request you to consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. It helps me grow the channel and to know that I am making content that is of help to people out here in now. After subscribing, I think now we are ready. We can get started, and I have here a plan that we were developing in the last Archicad tutorial. We were looking at how to draw a floor plan in Archicad 23, and I showed you how to go about it. And if you look at it closely, we have built a 3D model, and this is it. We have our walls, windows and doors and some interior furniture in place. And let's say you are designing for a client, and at this stage they wanted to know how much their house is going to cost. Let's say someone inquired from you how much they will require to just build the walls only, and this information is actually something that if you gave a floor plan to a quantity surveyor, they will be able to come up with the quantities of the required construction materials, and then they will put a cost to that. Now for you to be able to perform that very fast when you're working in a BIM software like Archicad, that is what I want to show you. And so I want us to look at something. If you activate the wall tool, for example, and go to the settings dialog for that wall tool, you will be able to see all this information about the heights of the wall, thicknesses, the type of material that you choose, the floor plan, how it will look on floor plan, or the materials you put in your surfaces, that is the 3D surfaces. There is some properties here. There is Archicad classifications, categories, structural functions, positions. There is data such as fire resistant rating, thermal transmittance, sound transmission class. There is other details such as construction type and technology, and environmental factors or environmental data such as the life cycle environmental data, stored energy, service life, and all this other information that you can see down here as I continue to scroll down. So you can see cost of the structure as an expression. You can be able to customize that, and total cost of volume, total cost of volume in US dollar. This is all in terms of expressions, something that you can customize. Now how can we extract this data from a model like this that we have built in Archicad? Now if you've been keen on exploring Archicad in detail, you must have noticed that we have things called schedules. And schedules is basically a list of the elements, the components or the surfaces that are included in our project. So below the project browser here, you have the project map. You can be able to navigate down below the 3D options. If you can see this one here, which is schedules. If you click on this drop down, you will see you have elements, we have components, and we have surfaces. And elements are things like, so now to be able to see what types of elements we have, you'll click on the drop down for the elements, and you'll be able to see that we have a walls, which is represented in wall schedule. We have all openings of doors, we have windows, objects, and default beam components. Now for us, we want to take off, or rather we want to extract the quantity of materials that will be required to build the wall for this project. So what I will do is, under schedules, I will activate the wall schedule by double clicking on it, and when I do that, this is the type of table that we are going to get, which is basically the element IDs for the different types, wall types, their heights, their thicknesses, the areas and volumes, and the rest. And this data has been pulled directly from our Archicad model, and it's a very important data. You can be able to work with this data and come up with a cost for our walling. But right now, if you look at it, what we have here is a table that has the element IDs, which is these ones that are given in this column. There is a 2D plan preview, and you have the wall type. There is height in meters. There is thickness in meters for that wall. You have an area, you have a net volume, you have perimeter in meters, you have classification, construction type, position, and all these other data that you can see in this table. I hope you will be able to navigate in your Archicad and be able to see all that type of data that is available in the wall schedule that is created by default when you open Archicad. So I want to fit this to width by clicking on these two double arrows. Now have 100% zoom, and if you wanted to either add or subtract any of these informations that we have in these columns, you can do that by going up here to scheme settings, click on scheme settings, and when you open scheme settings, you will be able to see this this window that opens, and up here we have the criteria for the wall schedule, and down here we have the fields that are included. So basically what is in this box is what is included in this table, as you can see. So these are the different column headings, and we can be able to add or deduct any type of field that we do not want to be featured in our schedule. So that's it. Let's click on OK, and I want to show you something. When you go to scheme settings, you can be able to export. Down here you can either create a new one, you can delete this, you can import, and you can also export this data and store it on your computer. So if I click on export, what you will see is it prompts me to save this as a wall schedule, and I'll be saving it as an interactive schedule scheme in terms of this is an XML file. So if I click on save, I will have exported this data and it will be stored in this file that is called the folder designs, and it will be called IES01 world schedule.xml. So that's it on how to export schedule data to XML. Now let's say I wanted to save this data to a spreadsheet file so that I can open it in a software like Microsoft Excel, and then I can be able to work with that, input some values and some Excel formulas, and be able to come up with some costing. So I'll click on OK here, then I'll go to File, and I'll choose Save As, and I'll choose, when I choose Save As, it's going to prompt me to choose the location where I want to save that file, and it will also have generated a custom file name for me, so I'll be able to click on save. So let's wait for it to load. When that loads, now I can be able to, I'll be saving it as a wall schedule. That is my file name. And down here under save as type, I'll click on this drop down, then I'll select Excel workbook that is an Excel file. Then I want this Excel file to open after I have saved it. So I'll click on this, I'll choose on this, but I'll choose this button, open file after save. Then I'll click save. So what that does is it saves the file, and also Excel will start opening. So I will have the file open in Excel. As you can see, Excel is opening, and I will be able to show you how to work in Excel after it has opened. So this is the data. This is the data that you are seeing in Archicad, and there are a lot of fields, and these are just the default elements, or rather the default fields that Archicad includes in a wall schedule. Now if you look at this, things such as this that I have not defined in my model are not going to help me to come up with a proper costing for this wall. And so what I do is I should go back to my Archicad, and then after going back to Archicad, I can be able to filter the fields that I want to include, and then just save the information that I require. Then I go back to Excel, open that, and I can start now working on the costing for the wall. So let's go back to Archicad, and I'll click on scheme settings, and I'll remove this. I'll remove from here, and I'll remove the positioning, fire resistance, all these properties, because I don't want to use them. Just by clicking on it, and then after clicking on it, on the field that you want to remove, you can just tap that remove button, and it goes. So I want to have the element ID. I want to see how it appears in 3D. I want to see the material, which is the fill. I want the height, I want the thickness. Let me remove area and volume, and most probably the perimeter. So then I drag height here, then I will have my thickness, Hope you can see what I am doing. And after doing that, let's click on OK. Then as you can see, our schedule has updated, and this is the information that we have now. We have the element ID, the two plan preview, we have the wall type, the classification, the height, and the thickness. Now based on the standard method of measurement for your country, you can be able to tell what type of information for the wall that you need for you to be able to come up with a cost for that. And for me, I need, or I should understand the type of material that I am using to build my wall. I need to know the wall height, and I already have the wall height here. I also need to know the thickness of that wall. And so, for the information that is not here, I'll go back to scheme settings, and there is a search button here at the left top of that pop-up window. I'll be able to search for, right now I need area, and I'll click on the search, and then settings, then here I'll click on add fields. I can be able to search on area, and the area that I want is the area for the wall. So I'll scroll back down using my mouse. I'll scroll down to wall area. This is slab stair. So I have wall, and I want, this is analytic surface area of openings. I want conditional surface area of the inside face. No, I want surface area of the this is gross surface area. I think I need the net area, because net area is the total area of the wall minus the area of the openings. That is, you have deducted the openings such as windows and doors from the wall. So this is what I want, net surface area on the outside face. Then I'll click on add, and then the next thing that I require, I think we can add the material. Let's see if we can have a material, and what I want is you see something to do with general building materials, which is here. Now click add, and that's it. Then I'll come back here. I want to have this move upwards. Now click on OK, and then you will see an update in our schedule. So if I fit this to the screen, you can see now I have building material, wall height, thickness in meters, and net surface area to the outside. So I will go now to file, save as, and I will save this data to Excel. So when this pops up, I will choose save file as this IES. That means an interactive schedule, that is for walls, then I will save it as an Excel file here. Then I will choose to open file after save, and I will click on save and wait for the file to save and open. It's telling me that I have a similar file. I want to replace it. I will choose yes. Sorry, I think that is because I have this file open. I'll just do that. Then I'll go back to file or save as. Choose to open and save it as an Excel workbook. Click save. Say yes. So the file is saving, and when the saving is completed, you will see Excel opening. And when Excel opens, I will take you through step by step on how to manipulate that data in Excel and be able to come up with a cost per square meter of that wall. So after opening, you can see this is the data that we had in Archicad, and for me, I know that if I know the thickness for my wall, I know the material that I am using to build the wall, and I know the surface area of that wall, I can be able to apply a cost per square meter of that wall, then be able to come up with a total cost for that wall. So in this, I will introduce a new column here, and I'll call it cost of that, and this cost is going to be given by a cost per square meter. Let me call it cost per square meter. I will have that as what is I want to choose superscript. Click OK. So I have that as cost per square meter, and cost per square meter for this, and then I'll have an amount the other side. And so cost per square meter, that is based on the information that you will get from your quantity surveyor. So they are the people that will go into the details of the number of whatever the quantities of materials that you will need, and then they will come up with a cost per square meter maybe of that wall. And let's say in Kenya shillings, for a wall that is 200 millimeter thick, that is 0.2 meter thick, I will have a cost of 2,200. That is for all these walls that are 200 millimeters. So I'll have that as 200, and the ones that are 100, let me have 1800. So this data is not the current market data, so make sure you obtain the current market data for you to be able to come up with a good cost. And so after having my cost per square meter of that wall, then the amount is going to be cost per square meter multiplied by the surface area of the wall. So here and amount, I will have equals this, which is cost per square meter multiplied by the net surface area, and this is what I'm going to get. So again, I will have that as that, and then I can be able to just apply the formula. If you want to know that you've done the right thing, you can inspect the cells. I will also have this as it is up to that point. So if you look at our Excel file, what we are doing is we are coming up with a total cost for all these walls that are tabulated here, and these are the walls that we have for this. If you remember this model that we were building previously in our Archicad 23 tutorial. So let's go back to Excel, and you can see for this wall with element ID SW001, this is the cost for building this. And if we wanted to get total cost for the wall, let's say we have here total cost for the walls, and I have let me use top. I'm going to just click on that cell, then I'll use auto sum, and I can be able to get a summation of all these values for these cells. If I click on enter, I'll have this as Kenya shillings 300,642.00. So if I was designing for someone, and at this stage they wanted to know how much they will spend in doing the walling, I can now be able to confidently tell them that they are going to spend this amount of money. And this is just a very easy process, and if you look at it, you're not going to do a lot of calculations and mathematics and arithmetics for you to be able to come up with the cost. What we've done is we have just extracted the data right from Archicad, filtered it, then exported it to Microsoft Excel. Then opening that data or that file in Excel, we have added some columns for cost per square meter and the amount, and then we've done basic formulas of multiplication. Then at the end of it, we've made a summation, and this is just very easy, and I hope you've learned something from this. It's not the only way of doing it. There are other advanced ways, and if you've been experimenting with Archicad beam data and how to export it, and I want to know, so leave a comment in the comment section below. I'll be glad to know what you've been working on lately. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll request you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It helps me grow the channel and to know that I'm creating content that is being of help to people that are viewing my videos. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.